remake. So let's see what they're throwing up on the screen next in The Loop. Joining me from Los Angeles to help make sense of it all, West Coast editor for JoeBlow.com, James Oster is here. How are you, James?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Cool.
Today's Hollywood Reporter has me a little concerned. They announced that Lionsgate, they've hired screenwriters to pen a new Conan movie, and what are your thoughts on that? Like, I'm excited for it, but could it return as a viable franchise, really?
You know, seeing Conan back then, Arnold Schwarzenegger all badass,
right?
That was such a great, powerful movie. The first one was incredible. Again, it comes down to, well, can we redo it? Can we recreate that?
Hell yeah.
I don't know if that's really possible.
And James,
it's possible.
It is. They
is.
want to release a new film every 2 years. I know. That's
you do that too.
Ambitious.
So we can look
at
The
Rock joining too.
Again.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
And what do? Do you just give Arnold Botox from eyebrows to ankles and then hope that his body seizes up so he can reprise the role, or how do you cast the right actor who's not Arnold?
Well, obviously you know unless you do a CG Arnold, which they may do, you never know. But it just gives someone new, someone fresh. If you're going to if you have to make Conan again. Get someone fresh, get someone interesting. Do
you go with like a WWE superstar, or do
that's
you
a
cast Vin
crapshoot,
Diesel and say stop, babysitting or whatever the hell his last movie was about, and give him a sword?
I think almost if you went with Vin Diesel, I think you'd have a safer bet. If you're going with a wrestler film, look at the wrestler films that have come out recently. They don't do well. They just don't.
The Rock.
Right. Even Steve Austin, The Condemned, whatever, they don't make a lot of money. So I think you're shooting yourself in the foot if you do that.
Yeah, and sword fighting John Cena, I don't know. No. I don't think he can pull off Conan, sadly. No. I wouldn't say that to his face, though, obviously. Another film that seems to be getting a ton of buzz, though, is Platinum Dunes' reimagining of A Nightmare on Elm Street. And your site just reported that there may be some casting developments now.
Yeah, there's talk about, and I'm sure it's a rumor, I hope to God it's a rumor, Billy Bob Thornton, Freddy Krueger, and...
What's wrong with Billy Bob playing Freddy? I mean, he's into some creepy stuff.
Oh, dude, he's a great actor. He's a fantastic actor, and I like him a lot. But this is I don't think it's a role you can just put an Academy Award nominated or winner actor. You got to get someone fresh again.
Right.
I mean, unless you're going to use Robert Englund, who you should use.
Well, yeah, we had Robert on the show, just the last week, and I asked him about that, and he said, well, maybe I'll make a cameo. I don't know if that was due to lack of interest in actually reprising the role, or if it was because they simply haven't approached him yet.
Well, he was even he wanted to do the role.
The weird thing is, for me, the idea of remaking Nightmare on Elm Street is just a bad idea all around.
Well, Robert said he wanted it to go CG and get, some crazy special effects treatments. If they were to do that, do you agree with that approach, or should they stick with all the practical stuff?
The reason those films worked, the reason I kept going, the practical.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at those movies now, yeah, they're a little dated, but they're still classic, and they're still interesting to look at.
Right, and there's no blatant Jar Jar poking out at you. There's no gruesomely CG character that gets in the way of it, so yeah, I think I agree with you there.
That tends to be, anytime you have like some kind of CG monster popping up, it ruins the feel of it. It felt like a real nightmare.
Speaking of nightmares, I know you're upset about this, as I think many others are. MTV and Sky Movies in the UK, they're remaking 1975's Rocky Horror Picture Show. Fans of the original, I mean, to say it's a cult classic does the term cult classic a huge understatement, but it does it a disservice. What do you think? I mean, do they need to contemporize this film to pull in viewers, or should they even be approaching this franchise?
How about an original idea? That's all I'm saying. I mean, Rocky Horror, when's the first time you saw it, You remember throwing shit at that... Where's the fun of remaking that now? Will that succeed?
Yeah, and if they do remake it, James, do you think people will show up to throw food items at the screen or paint giant red V's on people's foreheads like I had?
I would, just because I don't like the idea.
You're the one man getting booted out of the IMAX screening like, come on, what? We should all be throwing produce.
Well, again, it was a midnight show. It was fun. You go, you get completely wasted, and you have a good time. That's what's fun about it. It's not a megaplex. It's not an MTV. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I think you...
Yeah, but you can only have it like at one theater in Los Angeles.
Right on the internet. James, I want to thank you for coming by. Really appreciate it. Thanks for keeping us in the loop.
Thanks a lot.
All right, right now let's go over to Olivia.
While Blair was in Japan for their Star Wars